Hello, folks. How y'all doing today? It's your boy Mike D, aka DDE80, aka 13 Wonder of the World. Happy Thursday to all of you all out there in Radio World, Radio Land, Radio World, wherever you're at, wherever you're listening to me at, either on Spotify, YouTube. Thank you for listening. Shout out to the Point Place family. Shout out to Bobby Reezy. Listen to his music. Shout out to my boy M Breezy. Shout out to Naya. Shout out to my sister. I love all y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Point of View. I was supposed to have it on yesterday, but yesterday was a rough day for me. Got a lot of little stuff going on in my life. I'm just asking y'all to keep me in prayer. You know what I'm saying? Kind of tough right now on your boy, but I believe in God. I just know that things will pass through as they go. So keep me in your prayers, man, as I continue on in life, as well as I keep you in my prayers. Oh, man. Let's talk about, what can we talk about? Oh, yeah, let's talk about the NBA playoffs. Let's talk about wrestling as well. Well, the Cavaliers lost to Boston. Like I said, they were going to lose in 5. Mitchell didn't play in the last 2 games, 4 and 5. He was injured, according to what they were saying about him. I think that Donovan Mitchell, his time in Cleveland could possibly be over. I think now you go with Darius Garland as the superstar of the team that he was before Mitchell came to Cleveland. He played second fiddle to Donovan Mitchell because Donovan Mitchell was the star. But now he's the one that's homebred in Cleveland. So Garland should have a better season next season if Mitchell leaves Cleveland, which I'm thinking that he possibly will, folks. If I'm the Lakers, I'm trying to see if I can get a deal to get him and LeBron back in L.A. I'm trying to make a deal to where I could draft Bronny. I got to figure out, if I'm the Lakers, all this is coming your way right now, and I'm thinking that's what you need to do to try to make this happen. But if he doesn't go to Cleveland, if he doesn't go to L.A. and stay in Cleveland, then what else can they do? They had a great season so far as getting out of the first round and having a 7-game series against an inspiring Orlando Magic, who, by the way, folks, let me say this. If they keep their core team like they is and the way that they are right now, next season they're going to be tough. Believe when I tell you that. And then I'm going to go to a segue, but I'm going to go back to this in a minute. Congratulations to Vince Carter for his jersey being retired in New Jersey. I don't know why Toronto has not, retired his jersey. Vince Carter is one of the greatest players that ever played the game of basketball. I know he played like 20 years in the league, 21 seasons in the league, and he did not win an NBA championship. He did get a gold medal. He got some accolades. He was an all-star, but he did not win, the big one. To be honest with you, Vince Carter's team never played in the finals, and it's a shame that he should at least had a shot at going to the NBA finals, but he didn't get there. But other than that, New Jersey said, hey, we're gonna not New Jersey, but Brooklyn, folks. I'm sorry. But he was playing for New Jersey when he was with the Nets. Brooklyn's gonna retire his jersey. I wonder why they haven't putting Kenyon Martin in there. I know they got Jason Kidd, but I think Kenyon Martin's jersey should be retired, and RJ should be retired in New Jersey as well, because those guys were there, and they went to the NBA Finals back to back when Kidd and Richard Jefferson and Kenyon Martin was playing on the Nets. So they should have an accolade for being there. Their jersey should be retired. But shout out to RJ and K Martin. They were some good players in the NBA. But that's a segue. That's a side note I want to talk about. Let's get back to the Cavaliers losing to the Celtics. Celtics gets all this rest now. It's possible they're probably going to end up playing New York. New York and Indy don't play again until tomorrow. Now, here's what's going to happen. The playoffs are going to start Sunday. I think the game between New York and Boston or Indiana and Boston is either going to start Sunday or Monday. I think it's going to be Sunday. So Boston is going to be rested because they finished them off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. They're probably not going to play again until probably Sunday, Monday, or even Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, for the Eastern Conference Championship. Now, back to Cleveland. There's a lot of speculation that Donovan Mitchell may be leaving Cleveland. He wanted out of Utah 2 years ago. They put him into Cleveland. Now, could he go back west? There's a possibility he could go to the Lakers. I don't think Trae Young is going to go to the Lakers now, folks. I don't see it happening. I wish it would happen, but I don't see it happening. There's a possibility you break the bank. You try to make Donovan Mitchell a offer that can get him there for at least 3 seasons. You go ahead and you pay LeBron that $50 million that he wants. Give him a 2-year deal for $50 million, which he'll make $25 million apiece. LeBron is going to play in LA if they can do that. Then try to try to draft Bronny if I'm the Lakers. Hopefully that'll go for them. But we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks as well. Let me get to Dallas and OKC. Luka played great last night. OKC is now on the brink of elimination, which I think they will win Game 6, and they will go back to OKC for Game 7. My thing is this. Kyrie Irving, he's playing great some games, and some games he's playing not even up to par. Kyrie Irving, folks, is bound to have a monstrous game in these last 2 games in this series. Whether they lose or win, Kyrie is going to leave it out there on the court. You ain't got to worry about Luka. Luka's going to give you at least 20 or 25. But Kyrie Irving, 15 one game, 9, all this stuff here. That's got to stop. He's got to put up more money. I mean, not more money. Well, money is shots to me. But he's got to put up more baskets and hit more points. And I think he will do that in probably Game 6. I think Game 6 is in Dallas. SGA and them going to have to figure out a way to beat them, and that's just the way I think that's going to go for them. I think SGA and Dort and all those boys, Giddey, are going to figure out a way to go into Dallas and win one. That possibly is going to happen in Game 6. I think they play tomorrow. No, New York and Indy play tomorrow. And I think the Pacers probably are going to lose, man. I'm hoping that Halliburton them put up a better game than they did in New York. Bronson was fantastic. Josh Hart and those boys, they're fantastic on the court. But will the injury bug, if the Knicks do win this series, which I'm thinking that they are, is the injury bug going to be the problem for them when it's time for them to go up against the Celtics? And I think it will be. If Jalen Bronson and them are not healthy, they're not going to be able to stop Tatum and Brown. Just that simple. Not only that, folks, but also I want to talk about the other game, which is Denver and Minnesota. Let me say this, and I'm going to be first to say this. Excuse me. Man, that power is good. Let me say this about the Knicks. About the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets have proven everybody wrong in this series. They're up 3-2. They proved to everybody that it doesn't matter if you put two head monsters on me, I can beat you. That's exactly what Joker has done. He has took Gobert to school, and this is a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's also outsmarted Cat. He's also outplayed Nas Reed, Jamal Murray, and those boys. And it's not even Murray that's really doing the damage. Besides Joker, it's Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon is proving to everybody, hey, I'm that same guy from Orlando, man. And this is why I say what I say. I was wrong about Denver, guys. I thought the Ant-Man and them had them. Now, I'm not going to say that there's not an opportunity that the Ant-Man and Cat can't win the series. That's not what I'm talking about. Man, I'm talking about the situation that I'm seeing right now at hand. Denver is one game away from going back to the Western Conference Finals, and they're 4 games away from going back to the NBA Finals. Are you kidding me? What in the world is going on, man? Like I said, I am wrong about Denver, man. I'm wrong about them, cuz. I am so wrong about them I could just say this. I think Denver can win this series. And I know as good as the Ant-Man is and things like that, I still think that Denver can win this series, man. And I'm not going to go up against the Ant-Man and Cat right now, but I'm just saying, the writing is on the wall right now. Denver needs to win one game, and they can win. They won both games in Minnesota. Just like the Ant-Man then won both games in Denver. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens as the moving pieces go on with this, man. Because it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in this game, man. And I think this game comes on tonight. Man, I'm telling you. Tonight, Minnesota's back against the wall. Can the Ant-Man, can Cat, can Gobert, can Reed, can those boys come out there and fight for their season? They're going to have to fight against Denver. And that's just plain and simple. They're going to have to fight against the Denver Nuggets. That's the only way they're going to beat them. They got to fight. They got to figure out a way to let Joker score all the points but stop everybody else. That's how you do that. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that as the playoffs continue, man. That's all I can say about that. The playoffs can continue. It's going to continue as the story goes on. Also, let's switch gears. Let's talk about the WNBA. My projection for Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and the other rookies. Those two are who I'm thinking about. I think that Angel Reese will have a great season with the Chicago Sky. I think Caitlin Clark's going to have a great season with the Fever. They're going to have to figure out a way to get the new wave of basketball in them because they're not playing against college people no more. The WNBA is a lot tougher and things that you got to be quick on the dime when you're playing. Now, don't get me wrong, Caitlin Clark can shoot the ball. That ain't nothing. But I want to see what she's going to do when push comes to shove against those hard teams. And that's what it's going to be. Same way with Angel Reese and those girls. Good luck to all those girls as their season starts in, the WNBA. Also, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about professional wrestling. Oh, man. NXT, man. The women's North American title tournament is shaping up. Lash Legend, Solo Ruka, um, made it in. Jada Parker as well. They fight next week, but I think they're probably gonna win. Ivy now went in there and got beat. We still see the matchup between. We're gonna see Lola Vice and Natalia still go up against Shayna Baszler and uh, Lola Vice. Excuse me. I don't know the name of the girl that's fighting on Natalia's side, but we'll find out soon. I don't really know her name, but I know they're all fighting and things. They'll come to me probably when I get off of the podcast. But yeah, they're still using main event roster guys in there. Meacham, I think Meacham is in that tournament as well. We look at the Good Brothers, the OC. Those guys are over there at NXT. Looks like they're messing with Ridge Holland. I want to see the OC go up for the tag team titles. That's what I want to see. I think they're over there for that. I think that's what you need to do if you are Shawn Michaels and Ava. You make the Good Brothers have a shot at Frazier and Axel. That's what I see. Because right now, Frazier and Axel, they look like they're nothing but just placeholders with those titles until they just beat somebody that they need to beat. Shout out to Tony D'Angelo for winning the Heritage Cup title. I'm trying to think. I do believe that Damian Kemp and Charlie Dempsey and Miles, I think those boys are on the main roster, if I'm not mistaken. I think that they're on the main roster. I could be lying, or I could be thinking that I saw them on there, but I do believe that they're on the main roster on Raw. I think they got drafted to Raw, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to have to look and see, or if somebody knows that in the comments, whenever this hits YouTube, let me know. Because I do believe that those guys are are on the Raw roster. I want to say yes. But shout out to Tony and the family for winning the Heritage Cup title. The Evans boy beat Oba, not Oba, but the sidekick of Noam Dar. Oba looks like he's going to have a lot of guys fighting for the NXT title, North American title as well. Trick didn't wrestle, so he had the night off, but that's okay, man. You know, Trick still, he's always there, so, you know, it's always something. I'm just waiting on them to come on out with this storyline between him and his girlfriend, his real girlfriend in real life, which is Lash Legend. And that's why she was calling him baby and everything. That's his real girlfriend, guys. Tatum Paxley hiding up in in Abel's office. It's crazy, man. NXT always has something going on for you to watch, you know, and for you to see what happens on there. AEW, man, look, Chris Jericho got folded. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Hook's back for Chris Jericho. Man, Swerve's getting beat up every week by Christian and them. He beat Brian Cage and them. Brian Cage and them boys turned on him last week, so he got revenge on him. But Christian got him in the end. I'm telling you right now, Christian and Swerve's gonna be a great match as well. Also, the great match between Roderick Strong and Will Ospreay. That's gonna be. I'm telling you guys, that's gonna be the match of the year right there. That match. Bryan Danielson, him and Moxley, they won against the Callis family. I don't know when Daniel Bryan is going to retire. I know his contract is coming up soon where he's going to retire. I don't know if he's going to re-sign with AEW or is he going to retire. What they need to do is put a title on him before he retires. They need to do him like they did Sting. They should make him have a match where he goes over and wins. That's exactly what I'm seeing happening with this match as well. hopefully that Brian stays healthy enough, so he don't get hurt where he don't be out as much more. Darby Allin's back in the mix. Eddie Kingston's injured. So Darby Allin's going to be along with those guys, along with FTR and Bryan Danielson, I think, to go up against the Elite. Darby Allin's, he's a banged up guy, but he's back. And the reason why he's back, because they probably needed him to come back. That's what I'm saying. Man, Willow Nightingale power bomb Sasha Banks, a.k.a. Mercedes Moné, through a table. Moné got slammed through a table by Willow Nightingale. I do believe that Willow Nightingale's going to lose, guys. But, man, that's the first big bump that Mercedes Moné has had since she's been in AEW. We'll see what happens with that as well as that goes forward with them at the pay-per-view as well. Also, a.k.a. Edge, Adam Copeland, House of Black did it to him again. They always outnumbering him. And Kyle O'Reilly now, O'Reilly's in the mix. He's getting numbered. He's getting beat on too. He's getting folded along with Edge. So it's going to be Malachi Black and Edge for the TNT Championship. It's going to happen. It's going to happen soon, very soon. And I think that Edge is still going to go over. I don't think Edge is going to win the title and just lose it like that. The Cope Oakland's going to keep going on, as we all know it is. So we'll see what happens with that as well. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Push come to shove with all this wrestling going on, man. Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa, they're setting up for a match. Toni Storm was in a match with Harley Quinn, and they were able to win. Toni Storm was able to win. Toni Storm is something serious with that AEW Women's title, guys. It's either gonna be somebody that's with her, a Mariah May or somebody that's probably gonna beat her for that title. I'm just saying that because she's on top of the mountain right now. Ain't nobody stopping Toni Storm. That's what it is, But it is what it is, man. My pick tonight is in the NBA. Back to the NBA. I haven't talked about TNA a little while. I'm going to start back talking about TNA as well. But my pick tonight, I think Minnesota ties the series at 3. I think they win a close game tonight because I don't think Ant-Man's going to let his season end up like this tonight. Denver is a good team on the road, but I think Ant-Man and them have to come in and win tonight. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Got to win tonight, man. You got to get it out. You got to get them out of there. You got to figure out a way to make it happen. And that's exactly what you're going to see tonight. I think Ant-Man's going to do what he got to do to win, folks. And with that being said, I'm going to yield. I'm going to try to give me a nap. God bless you. God keep you. You guys enjoy your Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. We know tomorrow's Friday Night SmackDown. We know that the Pacers and the Knicks play tomorrow. Great baseball as well. So you guys enjoy your day. I'm out. Love you all. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday, everybody. How y'all doing? It's your boy, Mike D, a.k.a. DDE80, a.k.a. 13 Wonder of the World. Thank you for joining me on The Point of View on this Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. Wow. Thank God for living to see this day. Shout out to the Point Place family. Shout out to Bobby Reezy. Shout out to M Breezy. Shout out to Naya Naya. Shout out to my sister. I love all y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Point of View on this Tuesday. Don't forget to listen to it, on Spotify as well as YouTube. In the world of sports, man, we're back in the world of sports again on this Tuesday. We've been having some compelling but also embarrassing NBA playoff games. We've had some great Monday Night Raw action from last night. Tonight, playoffs come back on tonight, as well as NXT, as well as WNBA basketball making their debut. And I'm going to talk about all of that in this pod of the Point of View. Excuse me for a minute, folks. That's some good apple juice. uh, Let me start off talking about the WNBA. That's going to be the first segue to what I'm talking about on this Tuesday. Yeah, man, WNBA starts again tonight. It's going to be the rookie debut of Kaylin Clark, as well as Angel Reese and all those that are playing. I think the Sky plays tonight. I think they don't play until tomorrow, but I know that Kaylin Clark plays tonight. I know that the champs, Asia Wilson and Kelsey Plum and all those girls play tonight, as well as the runners-up in Stewie and Jaquel Jones and Vandershoot and Sabrina. They all play tonight. We'll see what happens now that Skylar Diggins Smith is now on the Storm with Jewel Lloyd, if I'm not mistaken. Get to see what, the Atlanta team does, as well as the Sparks. I think one of the twins are gone now, if I'm not mistaken. I think Chinese still there. I think Chinese still there. I think the other one's gone. I can't remember. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with this new season of WNBA, as well as these rookie girls that are out there. I will say this, and I'm gonna start off saying this right off the bat. As of right now, the favorites to win the WNBA World Title is, of course, Asia Wilson and the Aces. They have a chance to three-peat. Can they do it? I think they can. I think the last team to do it was either the Cheryl Swoops, Cynthia Cooper, Tina Thompson, Houston Comets team, or I think it was Sylvia Fowles, Maya Moore, and Simone Augustus with the Lynx. I'm trying to think. I do think the Lynx did three-peat. I could be wrong about that, but the way that the Aces play, the Aces do have a chance, ladies and gentlemen, to three-peat. And they won the championship last year without Candace Parker being active on the court, but her being in her background and her on the sideline talking elevated those girls to win. So they're the favorites. Stewie and the Liberty with Jaquel Jones and Vandershoot, and not Vandershoot, excuse me, but Sabrina. I think Vandershoot plays there. I can't remember. But Sabrina, the girl that shot against Steph in the All-Star weekend three-point shootout little contest they had between each other, she's there. They are going to be back in that thing. They're a mix to win. Everybody wants to know, will Kaylin Clark or Angel Reese be the Rookie of the Year? That's interesting to see. That's interesting to say. That's interesting to watch. We're going to see what happens with all of that starting tonight. WNBA, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck to those girls, man, because I want to see what they're going to do. Also, speaking of basketball, tonight is the Knicks and the Pacers, and Ant-Man and Carl Anthony Towns, versus Joker and Murray. Let me start off with the first game, which is going to be the East Coast game, the Knicks and the Pacers. The way that the Knicks played last game was not solid enough because they had an opportunity to go up 3-1. They had an opportunity to put a stranglehold on Halliburton and the Pacers. But the Pacers came out in their building and proved to everybody that they were not going to go home like that. And therefore now you see, you see that they have an opportunity now to go up 3-2. Because whoever goes up 3-2 is the momentum getter, which means they only need one game to win the series. These two teams are one win away from going to the Eastern Conference Finals to play for a shot at the NBA title. That's what it's all about now. It is even all the way out until that. And me and Bobby Reezy, I think we're still going to do our broadcast for the playoffs. I want to do it whenever the Western Conference Finals get in because I want to talk about those two teams that are going to be playing for the championship to get to the championship, And, yeah. So I think that the Knicks will win a close one tonight against the Pacers. Because I hate to say this, and I will say this, but the Pacers proved last game that they could be dominant against the Knicks. And it starts off with Halliburton, it starts off with Siakam, it starts off with Turner. Those three guys right there can get and Neesmith, they're all bonuses. But those three guys right there are the core of the team. They outplayed Bronson, they outplayed Josh Hart, and they outplayed Dante DiCenzo. They've outplayed them. They outplayed them in last game. I know they're going back to Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden is going to be loud. That old school Reggie versus John Starks rivalry, all of them. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think the Knicks will win tonight. They go up 3-2. I think they'll go up 3-2 tonight. I think Bronson will probably have a 30-point game. I think Josh Hart will probably have a 12 rebound game. I think that Halliburton will probably get at least 16, 18. So we'll see what happens in the game tonight with the Knicks and the Pacers, as well as the Ant-Man versus the Joker. Man, the Denver Nuggets have came back in this series, have proven to everybody that they deserve to be in it, man. I thought for 1 second, and I'll still say this, Joker is doing what he has to do, but he's still getting bodies through at him. But the other guys are doing what they got to do to step in. Jamal Murray has proven to everybody that he still has it. Now it's time for the Ant-Man to prove to everybody that he still has it. I think Minnesota will win tonight because if Denver goes up 3-2 in this series, Denver's going to beat them. And the thing about it is, if Denver wins this series, they're going back to the NBA Finals. It's just this straight. A lot of people pick Minnesota to beat Boston in the finals. I don't think so, guys. I think that Denver and I hate to say this, but I think that Denver has the opportunity to once again get back to the Western Conference Finals. If they win tonight, which is a critical Game 5, Minnesota has got to put their necks on them tonight. Minnesota has got to win this game in Denver tonight. And the odds are against them because I'll tell you why. Nobody has not won a home game yet in this series. Nobody's won a home game. So we'll see what happens, man. But I'm telling you guys this. I do believe that Denver can win this game tonight. And if Denver wins this game, Minnesota is in trouble. They are in serious trouble because everybody thinks that they can win this series. And a lot of people were saying this when this first started, that Minnesota had the advantage. Minnesota don't have the advantage no more, man. Denver has came back and proven to everybody, hey, we're still the world champions. So they got a chance. We'll see what happens tonight in that game. As I look at the other games, man, I don't care what anybody says. D. Mitch can come back in Game 6. Boston has won this series, man. Boston's gonna win this series. They're up 3-1. They went back home and won Game 4 in Cleveland, where my boy LeBron James was sitting in the crowd. A lot of people think that's a sign he may be coming back to Cleveland. If he comes back to Cleveland and Donovan Mitchell stays in Cleveland and they keep Jerry Allen eligible, the Cavaliers are going to go to the championship next year. If LeBron James goes back to Cleveland, he is going back to the NBA Finals because there's no way in the world that this team is going to beat. No, I don't think so. But for right now, Tatum and Brown are doing what they're supposed to do. It's sad that D. Mitch didn't play in that game because if D. Mitch would have played in that game, the Cavaliers probably would have won that game last night. Garland did what he could do, and the rest of them tried to do what they could do. But D. Mitch was not there, so they didn't have a chance to win, man. They just could not win the matchup without D. Mitch. And it's kind of tough on them right now because they're fighting in a 3-1 deficit. Now here's what they can do. Can they go back to, I think Boston closes it out tomorrow. I think the Celtics close it out, and I think they wait on the series with the Knicks and the Pacers because Cleveland is not going to come back from a 3-1 deficit from them. That's just it. It's not going to happen, folks. The Celtics are too in tune to try to get to the championship. And I'm going to tell you this, and me and a couple of my boys have said this. Excuse me. And I've heard a lot of people talk about this on their podcasts. So I'm going to talk about it on mine. Well, on the point of view, which is ours. But I'm going to talk about it for a minute. And I want to say this. The Celtics can only go as far as they can go if Jason Tatum be the monster on that team. There is nobody that can stop Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown is a dog. Jaylen Brown does not mind being a second to Tatum's one. He's the 2 to Jason Tatum's 1, which means he knows that the Celtics is Jason Tatum's team. But he's there to be the Robin to Jason Tatum's Batman. Because Jason Tatum is Batman and Jaylen Brown is Robin. And I'll tell you why I'm saying that is because there are nights that Robin comes to the light. Let's go back. I'll give you a scenario. Let's talk about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Everybody knew that Will Smith was a star. But every now and then, Carlton would be the one that steals the show. If you go back to Family Matters, at the time, Family Matters was just about Carl Winslow, Laura, Eddie, and Harriet, and the mama, and the sister, and the little baby, and the girl Judy. When Steve Urkel hit the scene, Steve Urkel became the number one to that show because people were dying to see him. Just like Good Times, people were dying just to see JJ after a while, even though Esther Roll, bless her soul, and John Amos did not like the Jimmy Walker character of JJ. Yes, he was buffoonish, but guess what he did? He made the show better than what it was, even though society needed that comedy. That's what Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have right now. Jaylen Brown, when they lost to the Warriors in the finals 2 years ago, Jaylen Brown was playing phenomenal. Jason Tatum was not playing up to par. Like I said, it's up to him that the only way they're going to go anywhere is if he stays consistent. Now, last night they played great. They scored 60 points between those two, which was 30 apiece. I'm here to tell you, they're going to need more of that if they want to get that goal of becoming the NBA champion. That's that simple. It's just that simple. They're competing with the Lakers to have the most championships in the NBA. They have not won a championship in 14 years, 15 years, something like that, 16 years, I think, since Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and KG, and Kendrick Perkins, and Rondo, and all those boys won back in 2008. They got back there in 2010, but they couldn't beat Kobe, Lamar Odom, Artest, and Paul Gasol. You know what I'm saying? So they have a chance. They have a chance because the Celtics are only competing with the Lakers in championship wins. You know, Bird, Magic, KG, Kobe versus Kobe. You know, situations like that. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm telling you guys, that's the only way the Celtics are going to win. Jason Tatum has to be on it. And as good as he's a great player. But Jaylen Brown's not scared, guys. Jaylen Brown is not scared of the big moment. Jaylen Brown is always there stepping his game up. And that's going to be interesting to see what happens when they get to the Eastern Conference Finals because Cleveland's not coming back in this series, guys. Donovan Mitchell, if he's hurt, he's probably going to play the next game, and they're going to win. They're going to lose Game 5 in Boston. Boston needs to close this series out next game, which is tomorrow night in Boston, needs to win that game and make a statement, get some rest, and hope for the best between the Knicks and the Pacers. Who's going to be there? Because I do believe that series could possibly go 7, and I think the Knicks will win in Game 7. That's just my thought on that. Dallas and OKC. Great showing by SGA. SGA say no. When I saw the game, when I saw them easing back in the game in the third quarter, I said to myself, OKC's finna win this game. And I still believe that OKC can win. But I still believe also that Dallas can win. Because, like I said before, Dallas has the experience. Because Kyrie Irving knows how to win a championship. Luka, great experience against Phoenix a few years ago. So I'm saying this to tell you all this. Dallas still has a chance to win this series, but OKC are something serious. And that's just my thoughts on that right now. I still think that that series could possibly go 7. I still believe that OKC can win this series, but it's going to take them to win one in Dallas to do it. And that's good. They haven't done that yet until last night. So now they have to figure out what's going to happen now. Game 5 back at OKC. Can OKC keep it going? We'll find out. Also, with that being said, let me talk about the story that everybody has talked about the NBA MVP going back to Joker for a third time, how Shaq was upset about, Shaq didn't like that Joker won. He felt like SGA should have won. I agree with Shaq on that. SGA had a great season. SGA should have been the MVP, but they gave it to Joker. And I think I know exactly why they gave it to Joker. They gave it to Joker because Joker has gotten Denver back to, playing at top tier shape. He does not stay hurt that much. He doesn't get injured as much. He might have a couple of, nicks and crannies there, excuse me. But he does not be hurt. SGA was not hurt. But I do believe SGA should have won the MVP. Maybe he'll win next year. I'm hoping that if he stays healthy and he plays better than he played this year, because he's the only thing, the guy's going to get better and better by each year. So we'll see what happens with him. He should have been the MVP, but congratulations to Joker for getting it. Congratulations to Rui for being the defensive player of the year. I think this is his 3rd time, 4th time, one of them. Congratulations to him. I wish that Uncle Shay Shay and the big Aristotle work out their differences, their beef. I'm hoping that everything's fine with them. I just wish that these two guys are over 50 years old, man. They need to, just get it out the way, butt heads, not, and just try to get along, man. Life's too short for all that stuff now, man. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope that they can, work past their grievances. I hope they can just be cordial with each other. They don't have to, not, be around each other, but just be cordial with each other. That's all I want. As far as basketball, that's basically about all. Talk more about that tomorrow after tonight's games are over. Let's get to the wrestling. Let's get to WWE Raw. A lot of matches took place on that Raw, man. Great matches. King of the Ring finals is now going to be Gunther against Jey Uso. If you guys remember a few months ago, Jey Uso had Gunther beat to become the Intercontinental Champion, and he ended up losing because of Jimmy Uso. I don't think that's going to happen this time. What do I think is going to happen? I think that Jey Uso could be the one to be the second person to pin Gunther on a TV show. He's never lost on a TV show, not on Raw. He's lost at tag matches, but he's never been pinned 1, 2, 3. I think Jey Uso will be the one in the finals. Now, let me say this. I'm hoping that Jey Uso becomes the king of the ring. It's gonna be either him or LA Knight, I think, is gonna fight in the tournament for this. Because here's why I'm saying this, and I'll tell you why I'm saying this. I do believe that LA Knight might get put out of that match. I think he might lose the tournament or whatever. But I think that Jey Uso has an opportunity to become the king of the ring. I believe this. I believe that Dragunov and Gunther are going to have a storyline now because he's talking about it every time he sees him and stuff like that. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Gunther's going to go one-on-one with Dragunov. I think you have that match because the next pay-per-view is Clash at the Castle. It's either Clash at the Castle or Money in the Bank. I can't remember which one it is. I think Money in the Bank could be July this year. And I think that then you go August SummerSlam. I think that's what WWE is doing. I know the King in the Ring, Queen of the Ring is happening now. Io Sky versus LaCara Valkyrie. I said LaCara, I'm sorry. Live Valkyrie. I think Live's going to win. There's been a spoiler saying that Tiffany Stratton is going to beat Bianca Belair and then beat Jade. Now, how's she going to beat Jade? If I'm WWE, Jade does not get pinned 1, 2, 3. Are you serious? To her? No. You make it where she loses by a count out or disqualification. You do not let Jade get pinned right now. Jade Cargill does not get pinned. Jade Cargill loses by DQ. Keep her strong, man. You have to keep her strong right now. Bianca can afford to lose a match to Tiffany Stratton like that. She can lose by a roll-up or something. But other than that, no. Not Jade Cargill. No, you don't do that. Come on, WWE. That's not how you treat your TNA. I mean, not the TNA, but the AEW girls that come from AEW to W. No, you don't do that just yet. You know, that girl still has a high side in her. So you don't do that. You don't do that right now. With that being said, it's going to be Melo versus Randy Orton. I think Melo could beat Randy Orton. I don't think Randy Orton has anything to gain from winning the Money in the Bank match, but he could possibly win. Melo could possibly lose. And who's the other one? Toga against LA Knight. LA Knight's winning that match, guys. Or it could be Randy Orton against Toga. So we'll see what happens with that, folks. That's the SmackDown side. Tonight is NXT. I know that the tournament for the NXT Women's North America title is on. We're going to see what happens between Noam Dar and Trick as that storyline goes on as well. We'll see what else happens with the no catch crew. Charlie Dempsey's guys versus the Family. We'll see what happens with those guys as well. I said the No Catch Crew, man. But No Catch Crew was on Raw last night in a tag match as well. So we're going to see the Judgment Day go up against the Awesome Truth again for the tag team titles. I still don't think they're going to win. I think they're going to lose. We know that there's going to be a matchup between Rey Mysterio and Carlito. Kofi Kingston lost to Gunther. That's why we got Gunther against Jey Uso, because Jey Uso beat Dragunov. The storyline between Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan is starting to heat up as they get ready for their title match. Now, I'm gonna say this, and there's a lot of talk about this right now. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch have not re-signed with WWE. I'm gonna tell you this, and I want people to understand this. What I think might happen. If Becky Lynch is leaving WWE, then at this pay-per-view, at the Queen and King of the Ring, if Liv Morgan wins the title, that could be a sign that Becky Lynch is leaving. If Liv Morgan wins the title, that could be the swan song of Becky Lynch. Because you guys got to remember this. When Becky Lynch And when she was in Alexandria, uh, in March, she was out there taking pictures with everybody in the crowd, everybody in the front row, and everything. That was like a swan song for Becky. But I'm gonna tell you this. I will tell you this right here. She lost at WrestleMania to Rhea Ripley. When she lost to Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, she was supposed to have rolled out in the sunset for a while and sell her book, even though it's a good book. It's a great book. And she narrated it absolutely positively great on her end. But when Rhea Ripley got hurt, they needed a star to come back and take what they needed to. That's why they put the belt back on her instead of on Liv Morgan. Because Liv Morgan should have became the women's champion, the women's world champion. But they gave it to Becky Lynch because they are not ready for Liv to take the ball because she's been hurt, man. That's what this is about. Now, if she wins at this pay-per-view, then Becky Lynch could possibly be leaving WWE. That's just my thought on that. But if she does sign back, then that's good because everybody's still going to want to see her in high-priced matches. The Becky Lynch still has a lot to offer to the company and still have a lot to offer to the people because people are going to still want to see Becky Lynch, even if she's in one-on-one legendary showcase matches, which I think could possibly be one reason why she comes back. Because remember, she still wants to go up against legends in the business. We know that she took on Trish. We know she took on Lita. Who else is there to fight? She could have another rival with Charlotte Flair. She could still have another rival with Bianca. She could be the one to go up against Jade Cargill, which I think could possibly be a match at a SummerSlam or at a Survivor Series or at a WrestleMania. So you got to keep that in mind as well. But we'll find out if Becky resigns with the company herself. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Sami Zayn and Chad Gable are finally going to go at it next week in a one-on-one match. It looks like that Otis and those guys are getting tired of Chad Gable, which I think is going to lead to him recruiting Ivy Nile and the Diamond Mine, which is her and the Creed brothers. That's possibly what's going to happen because Chad Gable's going to be looking for another group in a little while. We also see the Uncle Howdy alarms and the scans and things like that popping through on the screen and things like that. So they're coming. They're coming, guys. Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowe, those guys are going to be the reincarnation of the Wyatt family. They're coming. You'll see it all happen. Oh, man. Is that it? Yeah, that's it for right now. I want to thank everybody for listening. God bless you. God keep you. Enjoy NXT. Enjoy NBA playoffs, WNBA start of season, hockey's playoffs, baseball, tennis, all your sports. Get your dose of sports, This has been Mike D for The Point of View. God bless you. God keep you. Guys have a good night.